Hey, welcome to another episode of Five Lakes Garage, and we're again not in the garage. We're actually out here at the American Legion, and we're going to show you how to set up camp. Corbin is actually part of the Arrow of Lights and getting ready to go to Boy Scouts. Now they're calling Scouts, but anyway, he's starting to move up, and we had to figure out exactly what kind of gear he's going to need. What's the difference between Cub Scout camping and Boy Scout camping? So we're going to set up camp and show you what we brought, give you some suggestions. There are plenty of other items out there on the market, but these are the ones that we use. And if you have anything else that we did not cover, by all means, please put it down in the comments. So anyway, so I'm gonna get my pack on, and then we're gonna go into it. And this is pretty much what it consists of. I have my water pack here. It's a CamelBak. Holds about 2 liters of water. So I'm gonna put that on my chest, because if we're going to be hiking in somewhere, there you go, you kind of got to stay hydrated. So, take my backpack for the rest of my gear. Alright, it's always easy to strap it on. Alright, so as you can see, I actually put the front one on first, and then I put my back one on the second. And what that's going to do is actually keep this one falling off. So I can lean forward, it's not gonna fall off. If I put this on second, it's gonna fall off your shoulders and actually fall on the ground. So anyway, we are going to leave the truck and we're gonna go hike to our campsite. All right, so when you are carrying stuff that you're going to be hiking in with, you always wanna think of lightness, because the more that you put on your back, the less you're gonna be able to hike. So you got to carry your own water, carry your own food, camping gear, cooking utensils. You notice I did not have a cast iron skillet. I don't have, anything that is extremely heavy, because I would like to survive this hike and camping trip. So let's head on down to camp and we'll get set up.
Stop.
All right, we've been hiking all day. We set up camp. Now welcome to my home away from home. All right, some of the things that you really want to bring in, this setup here is something that we would do if we're hiking in. It does have quite a bit of gear here. It has a little bit of weight to it, so we will not be carrying all of this stuff if we're going on like a 50-mile hike, because then it'll just wear you out. So, but if we're going to go on a small hike, maybe 10 miles or so, 10 miles in, 10 miles back, this should be enough to be able to carry. Now, you always need a place to sleep. So I have a hammock. This is in January, so that it is actually cold outside. So come closer and we'll show you what's in the hammock. All right. So we have our basic hammock, which is right here. But then this one right here, this is actually an underquilt. This will actually block a lot of the cold air from actually getting underneath your buttocks and making it cold. And of course you need your sleeping bag. Now this sleeping bag is actually set for about 50-degree weather. So it's nice and light. It can fit into a small little bag and stick into your pack. Now with the quilt, you can wrap it around yourself, and actually that will add some warmth to you. So this should be good all the way down to maybe 45 to 50 degrees. Anything colder than that, I'm gonna need to bring my big sleeping bag. So this is where I sleep. Now right above me, so obviously if you're out in the woods, you have to deal with weather. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time if you're out there camping, it's gonna rain. I don't know what it is, but if you're out here, usually it rains. So we got a rain fly. Now on this rain fly here, I actually have 2 hiking sticks that I just inverted to be able to make some sort of like awning. I do have one higher than the other one, so all the rain can just go to one side. So a couple of little odds and ends that you want to bring. This right here is called a dry bag. All right, what's a dry bag? Well, it is actually a nylon bag. There you go. You put your clothes in there, you put your cell phone, you put whatever you need in here that you want to keep dry. That's why they call it a dry bag. And then all you simply want to do is just roll it. Try to get as much air out of it as possible, roll it, and then cinch it up. Now, this also dubs as your pillow. So you put a little bit of air in there. If you put too much in there, your head just falls off. Stick it in your hammock and you have yourself a pillow. This actually works really well. You can get this at the Scout Shop for a couple bucks. So if you look down here on the ground, we do have a tarp. Now this is just a simple little tarp that I picked up from Harbor Freight. It is very simple, very cheap. And the only reason why I put it down on the ground is because when I have to wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom or whichever, I got my shoes down here, but I'm not stepping in the mud, I'm not stepping in the dirt, I'm not stepping anything, I'm actually stepping on the tarp. Now the tarp will actually sometimes get wet, but I'd much rather have wet feet than dirty feet. Okay, so some of the things that you want to bring, you also obviously need to cook, right? You need to eat. Everybody gets hungry, everybody gets thirsty. So a couple little odds and ends that you have here to cook with. You have two different types of burners. This one right here is one that you pick up. The top burner here is like 20 bucks. I got it from REI. This guy right here is just your basic fuel tank. Everything sits on top. You can sit your mess kit on top, and then you can cook up water, cook up your meals, cook up whatever you need. So this one right here, this is actually called a Jetboil. This is actually my son's because he gets all the nice stuff. I don't, but it's all right. So a Jetboil is basically the same thing as that, but it's a whole lot nicer. What makes it really nice? Well, it has a lot of options. It has a lot of attachments to it. So you have an extra base for your fuel tank. So if it's on uneven ground, it'll actually give it a little more of a base. You have your on and off switch. It actually has an igniter here as well. But some of the other features that this has up here on the side, when your water gets hot, this will actually change color. You can boil water, you can cook with it, you can cook whatever, and then when you're done, you unhook it, and boom, there's your mess kit. You only have one item that you have to clean. You only have one item that you need to carry with you. So some of the other cool little features: simple little lid, right? All right, so you put your lid on. On this side, it has a little grate, so if you're doing noodles or something like that, hold it, pour out your water, you have noodles. If you're making coffee, make coffee in this. You got your little hole here, you can be sipping your coffee. Also, the bottom lid, also it's a measuring cup. It's also a bowl. You can use a lot of different things. And it all fits into this small little. So some of the things you're gonna need when you're on the campsite. I always bring this. This is a little bit heavy, but I do love my coffee. So it is just a simple little French press. Stick your grounds in there, you stick your hot water in there after you boil it, and then about 10 minutes later, push it down, boom, you have coffee without grains in it. Awesome little kit. It's stainless steel, you don't have to worry about breaking it. Also gonna need a small little mess kit. This one right here, picked up years and years and years ago. As you can see, it's been well used. But anyway, this all fits into a small little package. You stick it in your pack, you have a full mess kit. You can eat out of it, you can cook in it, you can do whatever you want out of one little simple little kit. So some of the other things you're gonna need to clean. Well, carry yourself a little cleaning bag. This right here is a camping soap. It's actually okay for the environment. If you use like a Dawn or something like that that has a lot of antibacterial, it is not good for the environment. But this stuff here is biodegradable and it's pretty good. You need something to scrub with. I always carry some steel wool with me just so that I have something to get the really hard stuff. You know, if you burn it, happens, you can try to get that off. Also, carry around a little measuring cup. I got a little tie wrap to hold them all together for my coffee, and of course there's full tablespoons for the big cup, so I always keep this with me. Also, pot holder. Yeah, it just comes in handy. Always bring a pot holder. My kids actually made me this one. It's pretty good. It looks like it's the same type of kit that we had when we were kids, but they still work and they're still very popular. Good choice. Anyway, now I do have some steel wool here. Now this is grade 0000, 4 zeros. And the reason why I have this, one, you can use it for cooking, and also you can start a fire with it. If it had a 9-volt battery, you can stick it next to it. This stuff actually starts on fire. You can actually start a fire with steel wool. Carry it with you. Also, some of the 6 essentials, you have sunblock, bug spray, I have a spare emergency poncho. And actually here recently I did pick up this table. It does collapse into a single little sleeve, and I can put it on the outside of my pack. It's not essential, but it does help with, you know, camping and cooking and that type of stuff. You're not sitting on a rock or on the ground. Also, you need food. Well, they have these little ready-made stuff. You can actually just rip this open, pour a little bit of hot water in there, wait a couple minutes, and then boom, you have yourself a meal. Pick these up at REI, pick them up everywhere else, and we're good to go. Also, today's day and age, one thing you always need to bring, You're always going to bring your cell phone. How are you going to charge it? You're in the middle of the woods. So you get yourself a little solar charger. This one right here I picked up a couple years ago, and it has been fantastic. Know that they do not sponsor the channel, and yes, I did have to pay for it, but I did like it so much I did actually buy 2 of them. It does have a solar panel. It charges that pretty well. It charges your phone wirelessly. You turn that on, and then boom, my phone is charging. It also has options for 3 other USB options here to do other phones, headphones, whatever you need. It will charge those as well. This battery here will actually last me most part of the weekend. All right, something else that you're really gonna need is a chair. So this one right here, it's something that's very simple. You can wrap it up. It's got a little harness. You can stick it on your pack and then carry it with you. And then it's just a little tripod, and it's lightweight, carry it with you, good to go. Now let's move over to the pack. All right, one of the things you kind of want to do is actually get your pack up off the ground. If you have it on the ground, it can get wet, you can get bugs in there, animals want to get in there and all that type of stuff. So all I really did was actually put a piece of stick, I just found one laying around, cut off the ends to make it a little bit shorter, and then bungee cord it to a tree. Now they do actually have straps that are made for your pack to hook it up to a tree. I don't have one, but a stick works just as well. That, you don't have to carry it with you. You can find them in the woods. So another thing you always want to bring, a little hatchet. This is great for starting fires when it's wet. You can use the hatchet and splinter off a bunch of logs or whatever to be able to get some dry wood. Always bring a little hatchet. If you bring a big axe, it's a little kind of hard to carry. So you're bringing that. You're going to need a light. So have your headlamp. I have a regular flashlight, which I have it over there. But anyway, bring a flashlight. Got a headlamp. Headlamps work great. Always want to bring some extra twine. This is some paracord, some 550 cord, whichever ones you want to call it. But I always carry extra stuff here. You can hang up tarps, the tarp that I have on the ground. If it's raining really hard, put it up in trees. Now you have shelter. You can put it around everything else. Do this and also practice your knots. That'll be another video. Now, if you look here on my pack, I have a poncho. Now, if you set this poncho up correctly, you can go through the head and actually dig into your pack. All right. So, what I did, I have my pack, right? It has multiple little compartments for it. I got my silverware. I got lighters. You can do stakes. You can do whatever. Got all pouches everywhere. Now this right here is supposed to stay dry, but just in case, I always put a poncho on top of it just so I can make sure it does not get wet. Now, and really everything that's here fits in this pack. That's how I got it down here. It fits in there. Pack it in right. Always carry your shovel. Sure you understand why you need it. This particular one here is also a saw. You can use it as a hatchet or an axe or something like that if you're going to cut up trees. It's more of a survival type of little shovel, but it folds down into a small little package and you can dig holes and fill them. Yeah. Some other quick things that you always want to need: first aid kit. As soon as you get to camp, stick it on here. Because if you're bleeding in one hand, you don't want to be digging in your pack trying to find a Band-Aid or something like that. Have your mess kit out, or not mess kit, your emergency kit or your first aid kit. Have it out, have it ready. All right. You're gonna need water while you're out there camping. So I have my CamelBak, the one I brought in. I had it on my chest. I have my water here, and then I can have running water for whatever. Now this only holds up 2 liters. You can get some bigger, you can get some smaller. It's up to you. Also, one thing I didn't mention before, because I'm right here, everything gets hung up on hammock straps. Don't just put paracord up here. It will scar up the tree, kill the tree, and you don't want to do that. So grab some straps. All right, a couple little really quick ones that I just carry on my person at all times when I'm camping. One is my bracelet. All right, looks like a simple little bracelet, but it's not, because you have a fire starter. So you have a fire starter, you got flint. You also have a whistle. You always want to carry a whistle when you're out in the woods in case you get lost. You want to get somebody's attention, you blow the whistle, you can get saved. Also, it has a compass on there. Always want to carry the compass as well. And it has 50 foot of paracord in the bracelet itself. Some of them inside will have a small little pouch, and it will be a survival fishing kit with a little bit of hooks, weights, string, all that type of stuff. Highly recommend getting that. You fit it on your wrist, you walk out, you're good. A couple little other odds and ends. You can use your hatchet to put in stakes or whatever, but I actually picked this up. It is a tiny little hammer. You would think, oh, it's not going to do much. it actually does really well. It's not just a hammer. You can unlock it. You have pliers. You have a little ball that you need if you need to break glass or something. Hey, you can use that. Also has knives, screws, and saws. So that's a good piece of kit. I keep it on my hip, and it works out great. So yes, this is hiking camping. This is pretty much what you're going to set up. It works out really well, and you can carry it on your back. Now we're going to go over to what we call Cub Scout camping, or also known as posh camping. So let's go take a look at that. All right, so we just went over all of the hiking type of camping. Now this is going to be more posh. This is going to be a little bit more amenities. This is tent camping. So tent camping, you can bring this along with you on a hike, but it's very cumbersome. It's very heavy. This right here is actually a 6-person tent. I use it for the entire family, and it works out really well. But I'm not going to be hauling this thing up 50 miles into a trail. But if we're in the back of the truck, we pull up, we throw it out, we set it up, and then we camp for the weekend, and we have everything we need. We're going to go over some of the cooking stuff, because a lot of that stuff you're not carrying in. But anyway, come inside. All right, so you're relaxing in your tent. It's nice and comfy. What I have here is just a blow-up mattress. You can get a little motorized, battery-operated blow-up motor or blower to be able to blow this up. It works out really well. Now in the cold weather, what you want to do is actually put a blanket down. Now this blanket right here is actually a woolly. It is from the military. You can get these at any supply store, and these work great. And all you really want to do is create a barrier between you and the open air. Now if I was directly on the ground, it would be even worse, but the air inside the mattress will actually rob a lot of the heat from your body. Also, you want to get a good sleeping bag. This one right here is actually good till -15. It has seen a lot of camping nights. It is actually pretty cozy. It is a mummy bag. In the really cold nights, you can pull the drawstrings, everything's enclosed, and it works out pretty well. Now, let's say you're out here camping and you have little kids with you. One thing that you really need is a fan. Now this fan here is battery operated, and the only reason why I have it up here is to open up both ends of the tent, and we'll face it that way, and we can get all the little kids stank out of this tent. It's very important. So anyway, so yeah, this is the Hummel abode if you're actually going to be doing a tent. I did bring another tent that we're going to do a time lapse of how fast it takes to set up. It's really awesome. We just got it for Christmas not too long ago, and I'm so excited to actually show you. Okay, so we are packing up camp. We are getting ready to get out, and we need to get everything packed away properly so that we will be ready for the next time we have to camp. If this is a multi-day thing, then we need to pack it in a way that when we get to camp, we'll be ready. So I'm getting ready to pack my oversized bag. Now, logically, what would be the first thing you want to pack into your bag? Well, it'll be the last thing you're going to need once you get to your next set of camp, which will be your clothes. All your clothes can go on the bottom. Everything that you're going to get changed into goes in the bottom. Then, what's the next thing you're going to do? Well, next to the last thing. Well, you're going to cook. Okay, all your cooking gear, all your food, that goes in next. Then the very last thing you want to put in your packs will be the first thing you take out of your pack would be your hammock, your tarp, your rain fly, all the stuff that you need to set up camp. That will be the first thing that you're actually going to need. So keep that on top, keep it handy. Up here on top, go ahead and put your first aid kit right up top. So it'll be handy if you need it while you're hiking, all right? So pack smart, then life will be a whole lot easier. But yeah, we gotta get out of here. Sun's going down, gotta go.